Okay, welcome back. We're just going to do our little bit of a trick with our flicker brush, and we're going to do some stars. Now, what I mean by the flicker brush, you can actually make, and I've even made one out of an old bit of straw broom, but just a ratty old brush where you can actually get some bit of response out of that brush so it flicks back. So what I do is I put a bit of oil onto it so that it's nice and loose, and I put it into my paint like so, and then I'll just hold it with one finger or two and just give it a bit of a flick here and there, not too much, just to give it that bit of a star look. There we go, that's all we need. Clean your fingers, of course, and we just created a whole universe there. How's this? It's unbelievable what you can do with paint. Here we go. Going to continue on with our wave now. We're moving down into the painting and need a little bit more dark just under there, just to make that stand out just a bit more, and just maybe a little bit of white just across the top of that. Hang on, just clean your knife. Very careful when you're doing these bits right on the horizon line. You don't want to mess it up or anything. You can fix it, but you don't want to have to. So we're just going to run a few lines across there, in the background, right back in the distance, and we're going to have another one just in here as well, and then we're going to have a big one, and it's going to be like so. So that's our big wave, and pick up a little bit of that dark across the back there, a bit of our blue, just take the edge off the top of that. And before we go too much further, we should get our big fan, which is right here. Make sure it's nice and clean. Pick up a bit of that white, and we're just going to put a little bit of light just shining from the moon there. Across the water, you can even get that effect, same thing, just a smaller brush, and we'll actually put a bit across here as well. It's not a bad idea to do this sometimes when it's dry. You get a much better finish, but you can get away with it, just got to be careful. So we've got that shimmer across the water there now. There we go, makes all the difference. Okay, a little bit of light back over here, even though you're not going to see it so much, but we don't go into the white, we're going into the viridian. It needs a little bit of light on there, you can't see it properly, but that's okay. Back in there as well. There we go. A little bit of light on it. That's better. And then we can actually make that wave break over. Once again, using our fan brush. Got to have a multitude of fan brushes, they're just fantastic. So we're going to have this waves just curling over here. And we can even put that little top back on there with the same brush. Just across the top of the painting. Okay, and as we come up the beach, we'll use our knife. This is where the knives are really fantastic, you know. A lot of people don't use them, but I just think they give such a great effect. You can't really not have them in your paint kit, you know. They're just unbelievable. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of this now, and we can come up the beach. Bit of a wave running up the beach again. And the secret to that, to make it to stand out, is to put the line underneath it. So here we go. We need a dark line underneath it. Doesn't look anything until you do that. Give it a little bit of a wriggle, it's not always straight. And that's going to highlight that wave for us beautifully. Just that little bit of wash running up the beach there. And back in here as well. There we go. That's just about all we need. Because we're going to put some big palm trees in this painting. And how we're going to do that is we're going to create a bit of a bank here now with a little bit of this blue, and we're going to pick up a bit of this dark actually and go up into the painting, and you can even do a bit of that as well. So we can go over a mountain, that's okay, doesn't matter, pushes it back into the picture and makes it look more three-dimensional. Okay, we need a little fan here just to take that, the moonlight's there, we know we're going to have a shadow back that way. It all comes into play. Like I said, you're always thinking about the best way to do it. So have our shadows coming, moon's there, we're going to have our shadows coming straight back. In fact, we might just pick that brush up to make it look a little bit better. And straight down to the bottom of the painting. A little bit more blue you can play with there if you wish, because the palm fronds are coming up. And the fan brush does all the trick here, the small fan brush. We can get it looking like sand as it comes up the beach. A little bit of light there. Just that crisscross action with the fan brush. We'll get a few other colours in here as well if you want. There we go. A little bit of that dark. And I'll throw a couple of got a couple of fronds in shortly, and we'll put these big trunks up there. There's going to be lots of fun. We're going to use the fan brush for the fronds. But before we do that, we'll get a bit more of this happening in the painting, just so we can see it a little bit more. There we go. Looks great. Bring them in towards the painting, takes you right towards the centre. Always thinking about all these little things that can just attract people's attention. No good taking your eye out of the picture. That's the last thing we want to do. So always be wary of those little things like that. A little bit of colour on there as well. So we go with a little bit of this. The Viridian that we mixed up there, Viridian with a bit of white, beautiful colour. It's also going to go with the sky colour, and it's going to break up this dark against dark that we've got just by doing exactly that. Have a look at it. Unbelievable what you can get away with. So much fun. If you're not doing it, if you're just watching, give yourself a go. Give it a try. You'll never look back. You're the smartest thing you ever did, because just about everybody I've known is giving it a try, they're hooked. It's hard to understand until you actually do it, but it's just so much fun. And we can get a bit of light in here as well, a little bit of white just on the inside edge. Okay, a little bit there as well, I think. Just taking, yep, that looks better. Taking it up into the painting. And I'm going to put some palm fronds in here now. Here we go. And we're going to use a bit of black, a bit of that dark blue. And right up we're going. Great big palms. So easy to do, look at this. The fronds are the most fun, and we can even put maybe two in on this side. We don't want anything too uniform, balanced. Last thing we need. So take those ones up there. And we're framing the moon. That's what we're doing. We just put a nice little frame around it now. Okay. Don't forget, we need a shadow down there. And palm fronds, here we come. Now you can do this a few ways. I find the fan brush is probably the best way, but you can also start them off by using one of your liners and just pick up that dark and start off with your liner just to give you a bit of body, a bit of starting point, like that. And that. Okay. Starting to look really nice, these colours, beautiful colours. So we need a bit of light up the side of the tree as well. And we'll do that with our light colour we mixed up, the Viridian, and run it straight up the side of that tree. Same with this one. Needs a little bit of oil on there. Knife needs a bit of attention, pick it up. Always keep your paint up and keep it piled up, that's the way. Okay, so we got that happening down there as well. There we are. And even pick up a bit of the white around the moon. And spots. Not everywhere. And what we can do then is just actually pick up your knife, your painting knife or your fan brush if you wish, and just take those little spots around. Gives it that three-dimensional look, that round look. There we go. Pick up a bit of that. Now's the time when you can really get the colour on, because you're laying it over the top. You're not picking up that colour underneath and contaminating it. It's just straight on there. And it sits there. One of the beauties of painting wet on wet is using a knife. So, it does it all for you. There we go. What I like to do with that is just get that fan brush and just take it around a little bit as well. Gives that trunk of the palm tree look just a little bit more. And we're just about to have our last break. And we're going to come back and put the palm fronds on, maybe a couple of seagulls or a boat. We'll have a look, we'll see. So, hope you have had a bit of fun with that, but we're going to come back and finish it off. Don't go away yet, and we'll see you very shortly. Bye.